Hello Primary 5 students, how are you? Welcome in your science class with me, Dr. Shema Hamdi Qasim, and this your channel, the Big Sister channel. So now we will start studying Concept 2 from Unit 1. It had the title, Energy Flow in Ecosystems. And now we are going to study Lesson 1. So are you ready? Let's start. As we studied before, that a plant is a living organism that takes energy from the sunlight and produce its own food to get energy. Also, we know that the animals, different animals, need food to get energy. And the marine environment, the fish and other organisms in the marine environment also need food to get energy. As well, the human eats food to get energy to do all the activities. All of these are living organisms. And we have non-living things like sun, air, clouds, water, even ocean or sea or river, any water body, also rocks. All of these are non-living things. And you know, living organisms need non-living things to survive and grow and get energy. As all living organisms need air to breathe in, and plants need sunlight to make the photosynthesis process, and all living organisms need water to drink, and there are some organisms that live in water. So here, there is an interaction between the living organisms and non-living things, and this we call it ecosystem. So in any area or community that contains living organisms like plants, like animals, human, and non-living things like air, sun, water, that interact with each other, so this is ecosystem. So ecosystem is an area that contains living organisms and non-living things that interact with each other. So now we know the meaning of ecosystem. What the meaning of energy flow? As you see here, this is a grass, and the grass get energy from the sun to make its own food, okay? And the sunlight energy is transformed into chemical energy, yes, as we studied. So here, the rabbit can't make its own food, okay? So it gets its food and energy from eating grass, as you see here. Also, we have here this deer. It eats from the tree leaves, okay? Because it is an animal, and animals can't make their own food, so they eat plants. And here, the deer is eaten by this predator, okay? So this predator, even it's a lion or leopard, okay? So this animal get its food and energy by eating this deer. So animals can get their food and their energy by eating plants or by eating another animal, okay? So there is interaction between different components of the ecosystem. Depend on the flow of energy through these components, as you see here. As the plant get the energy from the sun, and the bee gets its own food, and animals eat this plant, so the energy will flow from the plant to the animal. And then if this animal is eaten by another animal, so the energy will continue flowing, okay, from one living organism to another. So as you see here, the plant gets energy from the sun to survive and live. And then the animal eats plant, so it gets the energy. So the energy flow from the plant to the animal, and this animal is eaten by another animal, so the energy will flow to this second animal until this living organism dies, so the energy will return back to the soil as the nutrients return back to the soil and the plant get these nutrients and so on. So this is the energy flow. So what is the meaning of energy flow? As the energy flows, moves through an ecosystem from what plants to animals and also between the animals when they eat each other. So this is the energy flow. Now we will study activity 2. As you see here, this is a hawk. Hawk is a predator, okay? As now we will apply this information that we studied, how hawks get energy. As you see here, hawks get energy by eating other animals, okay? As hawks get energy from food, and hawks generally eat different types of animals, as snakes, mice, fish, birds, squirrels, rabbits, and other small ground animals like worms, okay? So here, this is the animals that the hawk eats. And small ground animals as worms, snails, okay, squirrels, as we said. So I want you to know that hawk eats only animals. It doesn't eat plants, okay? So, as you see here, if we want to draw food chain, as a plant get the energy from the sun, and the animal, any animal like mouse, snake, rabbit, squirrel, any animals that the hawk eats, okay, get the energy from the plant, and then the hawk eats these animals, so the energy flow to the hawk. So here, as we said, the hawks don't eat plants, but they eat animals who eat plant, as rabbit eats plant, mouse, okay? So they also depend on plant for energy. As if there is no plant, so the animals that feed on plant will die or will move to another place, so the hawk can't find its food, okay? So it depends on plants for energy, but hawks don't eat plant, they eat animals, okay? Hawk is a predator, but at the same time, it may be prey for other eagles or hawks, okay? As some types of hawks and eagles can eat the hawk. And don't forget, eagle is different from the hawk. Eagle, as in the Egyptian flag, there is an eagle in the middle, okay? You remember it by eagle, Egypt. The both words have letters E and G, okay? Okay, so here, if we want to draw diagram like that, so the plant get the energy, and then the energy flow to the animal, okay? And then this animal will be eaten by the hawks. So the energy flow to the hawk, and the hawk is eaten by eagle or other type of hawks, okay? Then, if any of those living organisms die, so the energy will return back to the soil, okay? So now we will study activity 3. What do you already know about energy flow in the ecosystem? Ecosystem is a community, area or community that provides food, water, and shelter. Shelter means home to all living organisms live in it. As you see here, we have different ecosystems like ocean ecosystem, as this ecosystem provides food for the fish or different living organisms that live in it and shelter, okay? Here we have another ecosystem rainforest, and rainforests provide water, food, and shelter for the living organisms that live in this ecosystem. Also here we have another ecosystem, desert, and desert also provide food, water, and shelter for the living organisms that live in this ecosystem. And we have tundra, and you know tundra is a dry and cold place. So this ecosystem provides food, shelter, and water for the living organisms that live in this ecosystem. So we have many ecosystems, and all these ecosystems are areas that have interaction between living organisms and non-living things and provide the living organisms with food, water, and shelter. So the question here, what do animals eat in this ecosystem? As they can eat different types of food. Some animals eat plant only. Some animals eat animals only. And some living organisms eat both of them, animals and plants, to get energy. Okay? As we see here, rabbits eat grass, and caracal eats rabbit and mice, so it eats animals. And birds eat worms. So here we have a question. Give reason for. There is a relationship between sunlight and the energy we get from our food. So think about this question. What do you think? Why there is a relationship between sunlight and the energy we get from food? Yes, if you get this answer, so you are right, because the energy we get from the food originally comes from the sun. We said that the plant get energy from the sunlight and make its own food, and animal that eat plant get its energy from the plant. And if this animal is eaten by another animal, so the energy flow to this animal and so on. So the sun is the main source of energy. So the energy is originally originally comes from the sun. So if we talk about our food, we get energy by eating food, even it's plants as vegetables and fruits, or animals like chicken or meat, okay? So we get energy in our food that is originally comes from the sun. So with this information, we finished our lesson today. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next video, inshallah, and goodbye.